Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Mitch Information Podcast. I am your host, Mitch. So cool. Why was there a delay in uploading? I said I was going to upload every week. The delay is I'm an idiot, but the wait is well deserved. We got a special guest today, a great friend of mine. A great person overall. Nick, how are you doing?
Hello, world. I'm doing pretty good. Thank you, Mitch. You're too kind.
You know it. I'm just the greatest of my generation. I'm the modern day Socrates.
This is true.
This is true. So, we're going to do some fun stuff today. We're going to talk about a united Ireland in 2024. And then we're also going to do a flashback to middle school, but with a twist. So, let's get into it. United Ireland in 2024. You may be asking, how is that going to happen? You know, how would a united Ireland ever happen? But what I say to you is that you should watch Star Trek. Star Trek. I don't even know when they predicted this. I just saw this on social media because I'm a bum.
Yeah, I have never seen Star Trek before in my life.
But I wonder if I can turn on CC for this.
Well, what is this?
Unavailable.
This is produced by Protestant Irish Republic? What?
Yeah, the YouTube channel Protestant Irish
That's a new one.
Republic has 10 years ago put up a video of a band clip. It's called Band Clip: Star Trek predicts United Ireland in 2024. Now, the video content is pretty shocking. They're talking about, violence and terrorism is a great way for social change.
This is true.
At least as the character on screen puts it. The one in the yellow. I don't know his name. He looks kind of funny.
Spock.
Not Spock.
Is that the bald one?
No, that's not Spock. Spock's got the ears, and he's also in blue. This guy's in yellow. Maybe it's Data or something. I don't know.
There's a guy named Data?
I don't know. Dude, Star Trek's funny. Anyway, he's talking about how he studied previous moments of terrorism as a great means of social change. He brings up some interesting predictions. One of them being United Ireland in 2024.
Wait, so they're saying this in Star Trek.
They're saying this in Star Trek. It says the clip was actually banned in the UK. So maybe this wasn't
What a surprise.
banned in America, but banned in the United Kingdom. How do you feel about this prospect? If we were to see a united Ireland in 2024, would you jump around with joy? Would you be a giddy little fella, or what would be going through your mind?
I would absolutely be jumping for joy. This would give me, as the 2003 movie Happy Feet once said, I would have happy feet, I think. I've always been a proponent for, what do you call it? Countries seceding from other countries. I think the map of the world should be unreadable.
You're a big chaos enjoyer.
Yes, I think there will be much better if it was balkanized to the extreme. Independent Wales and Scotland are also high on my list to thoroughly destroy the Anglo-Saxons.
It's an interesting point, but could it be that actually this would be a simplification of the map? This would be reverse balkanization, as a piece of an island is now becoming the whole island.
That is true, but I do say it in reference to expanding this to incorporate more parts of the UK becoming independent. It will no longer be the UK.
It will no longer
They will not be united.
Scotland and Wales doing their own thing.
We will free Cornwall from the English yoke, and etc. lands.
What even goes on in Cornwall?
Probably like copper, maybe like mining. I bet they got a lot of coal mines down there.
Yeah, I know. I know in Newcastle they do. We'll talk about Newcastle later. This might give you a hint. For the viewers at home, I made this funny. I didn't tell him the topics beforehand, so he's literally reacting on the spot, giving his wholehearted opinion.
Oh yeah, we got the hot and ready answers.
Hot and ready, just like Little Caesars.
Call me Caesar.
Little Caesars. But, United Ireland, up the raw, man. If I were to see a United Ireland in 2024, I'd also be pretty excited, As one of the great politicians has said, a great British politician, on Cameo as well. He said this on Cameo. The great website Cameo. Nigel Farage. He said, up the raw. And,
Up the raw, Nigel.
Up the raw, Nigel. Nigel Farage, such a darling dude. He's won over the hearts of many.
He's up there with the greats of Boris Johnson and Neville Chamberlain.
Boris Johnson, Neville Chamberlain.
King Arthur.
Theresa May.
Maria Theresa.
Maria Theresa.
And
who's Maria Theresa?
The one, And who else?
No, I think you're thinking of Margaret Thatcher.
Excuse me?
Margaret Thatcher.
One of the greats?
I thought we were talking ironic here about like Boris Johnson.
Dude, even ironically, she ain't getting up there.
I see.
I cannot be
going.
caught saying Margaret Thatcher belongs on. Actually, I should not continue this train of thought. I need to watch my words here. Even if she does belong in the Rings of Hell.
Yeah, that's a fair point. The classic meme. Ding dong, Margaret Thatcher is dead.
Ding dong, the wicked bitch is dead.
For real.
Let me tell you, if I had a rusty shovel and her in a room, you can finish that thought.
Yeah, that's a pretty easy allegory to finish. But, Nigel Farage, United Ireland, Star Trek. This is such an interesting idea, Mm-hmm. We're in a time of such instability across the world. Why not just throw some more in there? Now, you have of course the concerns about it being a prediction of terrorism, not being a prediction of a peacefully united Ireland, but a prediction of terrorism. Do you think that if this were to happen, like, how would this affect the American psyche as well? Like, we've been debating over whether or not to support Ukraine, whether or not to support Palestine or Israel for the past few months. Do you think this would go over the same if there was such an act in 2024?
I think there'd be a lot more support for it, in all honesty. I mean, I can see the support for the Ukraine situation, but there's not much connection between the average American and some Ukrainian dude. But it's like Irish people, they're probably one of the most nationalistic groups in America besides the Italians, I'd say.
Yeah.
So if we had a proper Irish independent movement that was really gaining traction, I can imagine seeing some Americans heading over there to help, and even some corporations. I could imagine. I bet there's some big corporations we don't even know about getting some funding over there for the Irish.
Yeah, and like speaking on alliances too, where we're in NATO with Ireland, correct? I think so.
Well, I think like everyone's in NATO in that kind of region, though, right?
Yeah,
the UK is in there too, but
like the thing
I see what you mean, though. Yeah,
is that since they're in NATO, it would probably go against I hopefully it's Britain. I don't know, but yeah, I see your point of like we have so much intense Irish nationalism in America as a whole. You know, we celebrate St. Patrick's Day
Exactly, as one of our biggest holidays.
as Americans.
Think about how much the average person on TikTok or Instagram hates British people.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I find it hard to find a group to hate more than them.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, they're just kind of annoying, you know?
Yeah. And yeah, it's like you got Chicago, flood the river green. You know, the entire city of Chicago is basically on Ireland's side there.
That's true.
And by extension, the Midwest, because unfortunately, as a Minnesotan, I will say that a lot of Midwest culture does end up flowing through Chicago or originating in Chicago to some degree.
Fair.
You know, we like really thick, ungodly, cheesy pizzas. Chicago's got that.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never been a big deep dish guy myself.
Yeah, that's fair. I've been a deep dish guy myself because, you know, like it's almost like kind of like a lasagna, you know. But
yeah, but the problem is when I want a lasagna, I just eat a lasagna, you know. I don't trust those Chicagoites. They make some weird stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, Chicago's got some interesting things. I've been there before, and I've had what has been claimed to be authentic deep dish, and it's good. It's good.
Yeah, me
I'll
too.
say it's good.
They got that big bean there. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, what's in the bean?
Deep dish pizzas. I think that'd be pretty cool.
I think that would be pretty cool as well. You know, imagine just like cracking that shit open on a cold winter's day.
Oh man, it'd be like striking gold.
Nice hot cheese, hot pizza sauce, nice crispy crust. Just warm yourself up in this soup. Return to the maternal womb.
Ignore the subtle lead flavoring
of Italian American goodness. That is mozzarella cheese and pizza sauce.
Gotta get the mozz.
Gotta get the mozz. Gotta get the mozz. You know, mozzarella, great cheese. I think it's up there.
Yeah, I'd say so for sure. It's very versatile.
Very versatile. It's not only a good cold cheese, but it's also a good melting cheese.
That's fair.
Which you don't often get.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of cheeses really suffer from them being really bad melting cheeses or them being really bad cold cheeses. You know, it's very, very limited. However, the mutz is the mutz.
Mm-hmm. Great texture.
Great texture.
Great taste.
Great taste. And it's, like you said, it's versatile. Another cheese like that is pepper jack, in my opinion.
Yeah, I always love a good. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of warm pepper jack, but I mean, every once in a while it can be pretty good.
Yeah. In my opinion, jack cheese is a pretty good melting cheese, so just like adding peppers to that gives it a little bit of kick.
Exactly.
For when you're having it cold.
Mm-hmm.
Because just jack cold is kind of annoying.
It's I wouldn't want that. That'd be kind of weird.
It's a bit too creamy with not enough flavor, unlike the mutz.
Yeah.
I over the past month, I've had not a Ziploc, but a different company, a plastic bag, like a 1.5 pounds of shredded pepper jack in my fridge.
Ooh, that sounds pretty good.
I've just been occasionally munching on, time to time. What a delectable experience, especially when you got it shredded too, because like you get it aerated, you don't get it as condensed, you know. It forces you to really open up that flavor just by it being shredded.
Yeah, you know, I got to get on that type of stuff. I think having cheese available in the fridge would really help out. Because, you know, it's having like little snacks and chips and
even just
stuff like that around is okay, but you can't beat just some good refrigerated cheese.
Even just like Kraft singles, man, dude.
That's what I was thinking. I mean, you know, cheap, easy.
Cheap, easy.
Taste pretty good.
1, 2, 3 out the window, straight to go.
Yep.
very easy, and it's good flavor, especially American cheese, which I think is more biased towards the melting side,
Yeah.
but still good cold. They got that shit in the Lunchables. It's like says cheddar, but like
Oh yeah, no, that ain't cheddar, bro.
all American cheese is based off of cheddar, so
Yeah.
that's cheddar to some degree. So, I think we're pretty on board for this United Ireland thing.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Just a matter of time.
Just a matter of time, and we hope that it relatively goes peacefully.
Mm-hmm.
Like we can say our warm wishes to Britain, but we definitely don't think that they at least deserve Northern Ireland, at least in its current state.
Yeah, I mean, if something does happen to them along the way, I mean, that's, it happens.
It happens. All right.
They had it going.
Yeah. All right. In middle school, did you ever do something called popcorn reading?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. For those, you'll probably be aware if you've ever been to American schools, but popcorn reading is take turns like reading a paragraph, and then sometimes you get to send it to whoever you want. Sometimes the teacher just does like a random pick. Sometimes, you just pick the guy who's been picking on you for the past week, and you just watch him struggle.
Yeah, you pick the guy who's the slowest reader that you don't like.
Yeah, it's a value judgment, and then hopefully they don't send it right back to you. But,
No, that's your chance to flex on him.
That's, I guess so. But we're going to step it up in difficulty. And we're also going to do it just between us two, because we only have 2 people here right now.
Oh, interesting.
But I'm gonna probably say this often throughout this podcast, but you know me, and
Is it going to be about the pickle guy?
Yes, sir. We're gonna popcorn read A Pickle for the Knowing Ones by Timothy Dexter.
Oh my God, my man Dexter coming in.
So for the listeners at home, Timothy Dexter, famous entrepreneur from the late 1700s, early colonial America. He's known for several things. One, he bought the Continental dollars, so how the U.S. Army was paid, for dirt cheap, legitimately dirt cheap, and then the government was like, we'll give you a cent for each of them. And he made money off of them. That's one of the things he did. Another thing he did, he sent coal to Newcastle. That's the Newcastle coming back.
Give him the coal.
Newcastle, notoriously a coal-producing town. They had a strike as soon as he sent coal to Newcastle, so they actually needed coal that time for once. Crazy. What else did he do? He sent warming pans to the Caribbean. The Caribbean doesn't need to be more warm, but he sold them anyway.
He's just having a little fun.
They used them to stir molasses. You know what else he did? He got involved in politics. And do you know what he was? He was the minister of deer.
Oh, I didn't know that part.
I forgot where he grew up, but apparently there were no deer where he was the minister of deer. Or I forgot if it was informer or minister of deer. It was one of the two.
Informer of deer.
Like, he wouldn't inform the deer, but he would inform the public about the deer.
Unfortunate. I'd like to inform deer.
Yeah. Deer are very willing recipients of food and knowledge, I've found throughout my years of living. If you just, like, walk up to a deer and, like, give it a berry, it will receive it with joy.
You can also inform them quite easily if you're going, like, 80 on the highway at night.
Oh, dude. One of my friends totaled his car by running into a deer. Those things, They're built like a truck.
Oh yeah, it's like
But
hitting a cow.
back to Timothy Dexter. He wrote a book called A Pickle for the Knowing Ones, and it's not known for the quality of spelling. Not at all. So what we're going to do is we're going to attempt to read A Pickle for the Knowing Ones on air for y'all to listen.
Should I attempt to pronounce these as he wrote them, or how as I believe they should be said properly?
I think do it as you will. I can do the first paragraph since it's kind of long.
Okay.
Or we can jump around. I think we don't have to
Yeah,
go
I'll try to follow along.
because
Yeah.
this is kind of like this is a long book. It's a whole book.
Very unfortunate.
Yeah. So, opening line. To mankind at large, the time has come at last, the great day of rejoicing. I just want to stop there. Rejoicing. This is spelled Regoising.
Regoicing.
Regoicing. How
I'm regoicing.
he's regoicing. What is that? Why, I will tell you, those three kings in raised, you mean, should know raised on the first royal arch in the world, almost not quite, but very high up upon, so they are a good mark to be seen, so the women's like to see the front, and all people loves to see them, as the Quakers will come, and people peep slyly and feel glad and say how the Dow find Father George Washington.
Jorge Washington.
Yeah, Jorge Washington. In the center, King Adams is at the right hand of the present king. At the left hand, Father George with his hat.
Father Gorge.
Father Gorge. He spelled it two different ways.
That's impressive. Jorge to Gorge.
We're not even like, we're like, maybe like if he put punctuation marks in, maybe like 5 sentences in.
Yeah,
And
it took
like-
me it took me a little bit to realize that he doesn't actually use
No punctuation.
any punctuation whatsoever.
And we will talk about that eventually.
Yes, this reads like a certain someone's I know Facebook page, if you know who I mean.
Yeah, that can really be replaced with anybody. I think everybody knows someone that posts like this on Facebook.
That's true. Mm-hmm.
There are just people who can communicate effectively without grammatical structure.
Yes.
And it's really crazy how people can do that, but I don't think Timothy Dexter is one of those examples.
I mean, it's an art form.
It is an art form. Well, at the left hand, Father George with his hat on the other hats of the middle king, and his sword, King Adams with his cane in a grand poster attitude. Is that attitude?
I couldn't tell if it's attended or attitude.
I think it's attitude because
But that
there's
doesn't
no
make
N.
sense why it's there, though. Is it in a grand poster attitude turning his face?
Face.
Oh, face.
Face towards the first king, as if they was on some politics. King.
It was on some politics, bro.
Yeah, on some politics. This is actually spelled like someone would tweet nowadays. Like,
That's
on
true.
some politics. O-N for on. That's not changing. S-U-M for some. And then politics with a C-K-S ending.
Impressive.
That's some modern day spelling. Our present king and all our former ones, they are all good. I want them to live
Oh, I think you missed a
forever.
line, by the way.
Oh, I did. Our present... Oh, yeah, I did. I suck at reading. our present king, he stands hearing, being younger and very deaf, in short, being a great philosopher,
Why is he ripping on him so much?
looks well east and west and north and south, deaf and very deaf. The god of nature has done very much for our present king, and all our former ones, they are all good. I want them to live forever, and I believe they will. It is hard work to be a king.
That's true.
Is hyphen a punctuation mark? Because we do have a hyphen here.
That's actually a good point. That's like used in like a proper punctuation way as well.
Do you think it qualifies here, or do you think that it is used as some other indicator?
I'd say it's being used as punctuation here. That's pretty impressive.
It is pretty impressive that in the first paragraph we have one punctuation mark. All right. Do you want to take a stab at it?
Yeah, I wasn't sure if that was what you were indicating or not. I say it is harder than tilling the ground. I know it is, for I find it is hard work to be a lord. I don't desire the sound, but to please the people at large. Let it go to brack the way it does, for a sort meant to help a good laugh, to cure the sick, spleeny, gouty, dull frames. Lick myself with the gout.
With the gout.
I got the gout. Shit, I've been eating too much salami, dude.
I need to start calling
some
people
blood
some
thinners.
sick, spleeny, gouty, dull frames. Dude, imagine walking up to someone, like, taking a class, and you get partnered with someone that you're like, I don't want to do today's work with this person.
Be like, hey, this motherfucker got gout. I can't work with him. He's gonna give me gout.
You are a sick, spleeny, gouty, dull frame.
I don't ever want to see your gouty face ever again.
That's
You're short and deaf.
You know what? That's possibly a good breakup line too. You know, it's like, you're so sick that I don't want to, like, contagion wise, I just don't want to be with you.
That's true. You got
We gotta
much gout in your big toe.
We gotta save this stuff like Bible verses.
We need to write this down. Timothy Dexter, new Messiah.
New Messiah.
The new Riz Lord.
We need to, like, form a counterpart to the Mormon Church, where it's, like, very similar, but it's like, instead of Joseph Smith, it's just all Timothy Dexter.
I agree with that.
I think that would be viable in the current U.S., you know?
Yeah, definitely.
Because people claim that they're searching for religions, but they don't know which religion they want to go to.
This one seems like it'd be more fun than most of them.
Minister Deer himself. All right.
Lick myself with the gout, and so on make merry. A cheely Christian is for me only be honest, no matter what they worship, sun, moon, or stars, or their wife or miss. If honest live forever, money won't get those figures so fast as I wish I have sent to Leghorn. For many Mr. Boer is one amongst others I sent in the Grand Cretcham. Those three kings are plain white colo. At present, the Royal Arch and figures cost £39 watt silver. Bro, £39 silver.
39. Imagine buying a Royal Arch for 39 pounds of silver.
Imagine paying 39 pounds of silver for plain white colo.
Plain white.
At present, the Royal Arch and figures.
Yikes.
That's pretty rough.
That's like,
Especially to have it sent to Leghorn for many Mr. Boar.
ooh, Mr. Burr, dude. He's getting ripped off.
He's one amongst others.
One amongst others. You could say he's among us. I have brain rot. Severe brain rot.
Me too. Sus imposter. Was Timothy Dexter a sus imposter from Among Us? Did he vent an electrical?
I think he could have, you know, because I think if Timothy Dexter was like a color choice in Among Us, I think he'd be like maybe like orange or white. It's
You don't
kinda
think he'd be green for a pickle?
ooh, green pickle. Well, like I'm thinking like mentally like neutral colors that you think like could, because like when you see the Among Us media, you know, it's like the red is typically the imposter, or it's
That's
like
true.
the really bright blue that is the imposter. I'm trying to
The cyan blue or whatever.
yeah, the cyan blue, like
Turquoise.
I'm just trying to like think of like, because he's like a neutral character, you know. He isn't
That's true. Timothy Dexter is true neutral.
He
I'd
really
say on the
hasn't-
alignment chart.
he really hasn't shown any inkling of being a good guy, but he hasn't shown any inkling of being a bad person either.
He is a bit chaotic though. He does mail warming pans to the Caribbean
Yes.
and send coal to Newcastle.
Yeah.
But he's not. He's just having a little fun, you know.
So chaotic neutral. I
could see that.
I think there are two greens in Among Us, so I think
Yeah, there's like the lime green and there's like the forest green.
The forest green. I think he could be the lime green.
I
then,
agree.
because it's
Lime
like
green.
it still has the aggressiveness of like that cyan blue, but it's really dulled down by the yellow hues.
That's true. I could see him sneaking up on me while I'm doing the wires.
Yeah, the wires and electrical, or maybe they're
Maybe the little ship
the
game.
card swipe.
Card swipe?
in
Mm,
admin. Yeah. Or maybe he's a medbay guy. Do you think Timothy Dexter would be a medbay guy?
I don't think he's a medbay guy. I don't think he knows what medical apparatuses are.
Yeah, I don't think he'd know what medical apparatuses are. And then also, I think he's more of a like, because he's
more of an amputation kind of guy.
yeah, he's also like a very social butterfly too.
That's true.
So he's gonna be where like more of the tasks are, more of the people are.
Yeah, I could see him crying wolf and hovering around the button for a while.
Yeah, so like that lower cafeteria area,
Definitely.
electrical, admin, kind of like that storage area. I don't think there's any tasks in the storage area, right?
Yeah, maybe not storage area. I'd say around admin though. I could believe
Yeah.
that.
All right.
Okay, where was I?
I don't even remember.
Oh yeah, 39-pound watt silver.
39-pound watt silver.
The heist, Count Satan order in the world. So it is said by the knowing one, I have only 4 lions and 1 lamb. Up the spread eagle has been up 3 years upon the cupola. I have 13 billors, front and strat row. For 13 states when we begun, 3 in the rear, 15 foot high, 4 more on the grass. See 2 the same hath at the right of the grand arch, 2 at the left wing, 15 foot high, the arch, 17 foot high. The my house is 3 story upwards of 290 feet round the house. Nature has formed the ground. Equal to what you would wish for the art by man, equal to a Solomon, the Honorable Jonathan Jackson. Who the hell? Who's Jonathan? Is that like actually a person? Or did he
I think
misspell
this
another
would be
president?
a person. Because
Andrew, oh no, Andrew Jackson was like way late. This
Andrew
guy knew
Jackson
George
was
Washington.
way later. I think
Maybe he is like another
This could
founding
be-
father. I don't know.
a rumored descendant of her glorious king Michael Jackson.
Oh my God, dude! Can you imagine if Michael Jackson had met Timothy Dexter?
Dude, the hits that they would create.
Oh my God! Can you imagine if Pickle for the Knowing Ones had a song format? The kinds of bars
What
that
if this
MJ
is
would be
what if
spitting.
this is the new modern epic poem? Is Pickle for the Knowing Ones the new um is this the new Odyssey?
That's actually a good question. I think this would merit classroom analysis in some kind of program.
I do think like this could be analyzed in either like a business program or like a history program too. Like, you know, there are really good history programs that probably deserve to look into Timothy Dexter and his mental fortitude.
Yeah, I mean, here at St. Olaf, I could see the Great Khan or whatever it's called now having this offered. Maybe read the Iliad and then have this come right after.
Yeah.
Do a little comparison. Throw a curveball to those poor saps taking that class.
Or maybe I'm going to preface this with that I don't watch Family Guy. I just see clips on YouTube.
Peter.
But there's that one clip where there's like a mini Peter, and he's like,
Oh yeah, I love Peter.
he's like a candidate for classics at Wesleyan, PhD candidate. Maybe mini Peter could write a paper comparing
Mini
the Iliad.
Peter's gonna work on his PhD for 8 years and then make $30K a year at Starbucks.
Yep. That's what happens when you go down the road of classics.
I love being a humanities major.
You either become the old, white, long-bearded man at a random college in the middle of nowhere, or you just know way too much at your barista job.
Yep.
And it's like you don't get a choice either. You can't choose between the two.
Yeah.
It's the market determines for you.
It's a rough life, and unfortunately the market has determined those people don't have anything to offer society for the most part.
Yeah. Shout out to Mini Peter though.
True.
I think should we popcorn around to another paragraph?
Sure. We can do that.
Yeah. I know actually this next one right here, not the one right after, but one down, kind of looks interesting.
This does sound interesting. I'll let you take over. Popcorn Mitch. Did you ever do that? Is that how you did your format?
I think it wasn't directly called popcorn. I think
Really?
I've heard that later, but it was like, I think you would call on somebody else. So like I would just say their name. So like if I wanted to call on John, I would just say it's John's turn or John, you know.
That seems a bit strange. In my school, we always prefaced it by saying popcorn. So
Yeah.
I'd say popcorn, and then I'd take a little minute to think, even though I already knew who I was going to call on.
I think that does make it a bit
then I'd
less
say someone's
awkward
name.
too.
Yeah, it gives a very, good
Format,
notification to people.
repeatability.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So then if any of the bums are sitting around not following along with their reading,
yeah, then
it makes them
they'll
perk their ears up.
yeah, it's a trigger word for
Yeah.
them. All right. Friends, hear me, 2 grand ears goes up in 20 days. For their friends, I will tell the type of man, kind. What is that 35 or 36 years gone? A town called Newbury, all one the United States.
The United States.
This is a really Soulja Boy-esque spelling. Like if you'd really hit that Soulja Boy on United States.
Yeah, that sounds like the name of a hit single. Like, honestly, the United States.
It's like you as like I would address another person and then knighted. So United States.
That's a bar.
That's a bar. This could be like a West Side Gun hook where he just does like a triple entendre, or like Billy Woods, or like some guy who's just really good with the lyrics, you know?
Yeah.
Like MF Doom-esque shit right here.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
Like This is a triple entendre right here. He's pulling out the triple entendres.
Mm-hmm.
All one, the United States, Newbury people kept together, quiet. The learned growed strong. The farmers was 12 out of 20. They wanted to have the officers in the country, in the seaport, wanted to have them there, gearing a rose growed warm, fit. They would.
I think it's fight.
Fight they would. Oh, yeah, that is right. Fight they would in law. They went to the general court. General.
General.
JNREL. General court to be sought of finally. General court to be sought of finally. That doesn't make too much sense to me.
He's sought of finally. What do you mean? That's perfect sense.
Fair point.
I think we should all start spelling like this and make anyone trying to learn language, and anyone trying to learn the English language, wish they hadn't been born.
Yeah. That's so real and relatable.
True.
Where was I? General court. Oh. They go there. Inns answered the seaport called Newbury. Port 600 acres. Oh, that's acres?
600 acres.
600 acres of land out of 30,000 acres of good land. So much for mad people of Larning. It makes them mad. If they had kept together, they would have been the second town in this state. About half of Boston now. Men mad to be in office. Men mad to be in office. You know those politicians be mad to be in office, you know?
He mad.
He's so mad. Dude. Was it like Ron DeSantis that was dropped out of the race after Iowa?
Ron DeSanctimonious?
Yeah, DeSanctimonious. Dude, he's mad. Right. He's malding right now.
Malding and balding.
Timothy Dexter has predicted and understood the phenomenon of political power within the United States. He would not be surprised at Ron DeSantis's actions.
That's true. I wonder what do you think of Chris Christie?
I think he would think Chris Christie is a bit too big for his britches.
I think everyone thinks that, but I get what you mean. What about sometimes I miss the old 2016 candidates. John Kasich. Remember him?
I don't remember John Kasich.
Hungry Kasich.
You know what I remember from 2016 election? The only thing I remember.
What?
Dude, I'm just chilling in Cedar Rapids.
I'm just chilling in Cedar Rapids.
I'm just chilling.
Pokemon go to the polls.
Pokemon go to the polls. D's nuts getting like 5% of the vote somewhere.
Oh yeah. Only unfortunate thing is Kanye did not run in 2016.
Yeah, you had to write him in.
But I couldn't even vote back then to begin with, so that's okay. I had my chance in 2020.
Yeah. All right. This is Timothy Dexter. What a wonderful man.
True.
Ooh, I see a nice part about some lawyers. He's talking about lawyers below.
City lawyer Joe. He makes me think of someone else.
But do you wanna popcorn about some lawyers?
Sure. Where's this at? Oh, this is in the next paragraph. Okay.
Starts this paragraph right here at Mr. Printer.
Starting off song. Mr. Printer, I must go. Some forwarder. I have got one good pen. My fortune has been hard, very hard. That is, I have hard knocks on my head 4 different times from a boy. This guy got hard knocks on his head from a boy to this day, twice taken up for dead. 2 beating was a lawyer. Then he was mad, becased the people at large, declared me Lord Dexter, King of Chester. This at my country seat, 26 miles from N-Port. My place, there is the fist from Saltwater to Canady. This lawyer that browsed me was Judge Livermore, son Arthur, the same creator. Borrowed $200 some months before this, and then owed me. He beat his benefactor. It has been my luck to be used 10 times. Woes by them. I do the most, for I have lost first and last, as much as a ton of silver. Gross my wife that was had 400 what of silver Abraham Bishop.
Where's Abraham?
Where did Abraham come from? 400 what of silver Abraham Bishop that married my dafter. 10 years gone him, and she since then, and my son Samuel L. Dexter. Upwards of $17,000. The rest by Hampshire. Coal by Roogs has Gawkby. Second-handed priests. Deacons, grunters, whimmers. Every 4 minutes, a Sith. Yo. Timothy
Sith.
Dexter predicted Star Wars. I think,
Dude, that's mind blown right there. Like, how would Timothy Dexter, like, actually, no, this is possible because at least as prophesized by
George Lucas.
By George Lucas, or the entire Star Wars IP, this technically happens within our universe. The entirety of Star Wars happens within our universe.
He did say a long, long time ago. That's
in a
important to
galaxy far
consider.
away. There is...
Timothy Dexter's brain is a galaxy far away from us, I believe.
He has the ability to communicate well. So I think he could communicate all the way to Tatooine.
That's a good point.
Timothy Dexter, IG-88 collab.
Timothy Dexter is Bosk?
Oh, no. Dude.
Timothy Dexter bounty hunter arc?
Is Bosk your favorite bounty hunter?
Ooh, that's a good question. I don't... I mean... Maybe he is, actually, now that I think about it. I've always been a fan of the Fets, but...
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like they get a little bit too much screen time for their own good.
Yeah, they do get really hammered in the prequels.
Yeah.
But...
I don't know. Maybe Bosk is. I think he's pretty fun.
Yeah. I played the Star Wars Battlefront, not the old one from early 2000s.
No, yeah, the new one.
The
Battlefront
new one.
2 in like 2017 or whatever it was.
No, well, the Battlefront before that Battlefront 2
so like the
from
2014 or some shit.
2014, something like that.
Yeah.
Bosk was so fun to play. I think he had like one of his like you had like special abilities for each of the heroes.
He's very fun.
And like one of them was like he would put like a gas bomb down and would jump out of the way.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool because you could play him like basically like a dive character. You just run in and then you would hop over them or like away somewhat with the gas, get that AoE damage, and basically cause havoc from there. It was a pretty interesting character type.
I don't know if that was if it was in the first or the second one, but he also had one where he had like a heat vision goggle set, and that was very fun.
I think I do remember that, but I'm not sure if it was first or second because I did play both of them. I remember preferring the first though. I didn't like the over complication of like microtransactions to it. I felt
of the second one.
Of the second one, yeah, and I also. I personally, so preface this, I'm bad at video games. So if I'm bad at video games, if I have to earn my right to play as a hero, that's going to be really hard for me. I'm going to like it if I can just randomly pick up a hero thing in the middle of the map. That. Yeah. And that was in Battlefield 1. I mean, Battlefront 1.
Battlefield 1. No, that's a hell of a game. But,
I haven't played that one. But
I was big Battlefield 1 guy when that came out. But yeah, speaking of Battlefront though, thankfully they did get rid of that microtransaction stuff in Battlefront 2, like a year or two after launch, and it became a very, very good game.
Yeah.
Near the end of its lifespan, but they decided to cut support right when it was pretty much at its peak.
Yeah.
Which was very, very strange. I don't get why they did that, because that was when me and my friends were having the most fun of playing it of the entire time.
It is EA. They're not known for holding up games too long.
That's true.
They're a studio that really does cycle pretty quickly.
Yeah, it just disappoints me that they never even announced a third one coming out, and I don't think they even
they plan to.
Considering how good the second one ended up being.
Yeah.
I mean, the first one was fun for a while, but I definitely feel like the second one...
The first one definitely had some low content issues. Because the map... Because, like, the only game modes that were good in Battlefront 1 that I remember is Walker Assault.
I remember sucking at Walker Assault.
Dude, that one was fun because you get these little periods to just... Everybody's like, oh, I'm just going to shoot at the walkers. I'm not going to do anything else.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
I'm just going to focus everything here. I don't care about my KD ratio at all. I'm just going to fire into a giant distant elephant.
Yeah, I will say the first one felt a lot more like an arcade. I guess it was meant to be more of an arcade shooter than the second one was.
Yeah.
The second one was so broken up with phases to the fight that, I mean, I liked how it felt, but the first one felt like it had more of that replayability within that limited scope.
Yeah. Definitely.
The second one didn't have a lot of bells and whistles that could get annoying, especially with like the hero characters. I remember some very bad design choices with them.
Yeah. You heard it here first. Timothy Dexter predicted Star Wars. Timothy Dexter.
Timothy Dexter, Jedi Knight.
For real. All right.
Should we continue, or do you want to, or should I?
I think we might just do another popcorn to another section. We talked about
that's a good idea.
Talked about some lawyers. Talked about Bishop Abraham.
That's true.
That married his daughter or Dafter.
Don't forget Lord Dexter, King of Chester.
Lord Dexter, King of Chester.
Declared large by the people.
Lord Dexter, King of Chester. All right. The rest of the book is really just like excerpts from his writing that he collected into this book.
Oh, this is interesting. I see a lot of punctuation here.
Is this actually from Dexter? I don't know. Here's some. I wonder if these were like clippings or something, but we do have some punctuation here.
The spelling is also normal, unfortunately.
Unfortunately. Well, back to normal.
Ah, there we go.
Let's cover this one. I'll start us off, and then I'll do we get back to Abraham Bishop again.
Oh, recurring character in the Timothy Dexter verse.
All right, I'll start off this paragraph. My friends and fellow mortals, there is a cause of all things, most come so it came to pass that one Abraham Bishop got acquainted with my daughter. I should say Dafter,
with
but
my
I think
Dafter. Yeah, it's definitely daughter.
I think it is daughter, but
I think he assumes that the GH, how it, what was I saying? How the GH has like the property to it, you know?
Yeah, it can kind of sound like an F sometimes.
Yeah, so maybe he just doesn't realize that that's not what it's supposed to be.
Like in tough.
Yeah.
You know? Like in tough.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
Dafter. This is me when I know what I'm saying.
Yeah, Timothy Dexter, new member of Daft Punk.
Daft Punk. This bishop got acquainted with his daughter. She, only a baby, he old in age. And learning and college lant and lawyer lant. And priest lant and masonic lant. And dival lant.
What is land?
Maybe learnt. So he learnt about
College,
being
learnt
a priest,
a
learnt
lawyer.
about being a
Yeah.
lawyer.
Okay, that makes sense.
He was then nothing.
No.
Bum.
He was nothing.
As for
Santo Tino.
cash, he being a fox, and an old fox he was, after the grapes he tasted of them, he cried out for this and meal, sent my daughter home. He said, A.B. did not get all the loves and little fishes, but got a part, and now 9 years.
It did not get the little fishes.
Bro, I just want a relationship where I can get the little fishes.
True. And not get all the loves, but got part A. A part.
A part. And now 9 years. I have now had my daughter crazy. Crazy. His daughter was crazy.
My daughter crazy. Oh man, that's unfortunate.
In and by the cause of this wild A and B. Hell on earth. Oh, pity me. Our good fellow mortals said Creator AB. Or Creator AB mad with learning. And as poor as a snake and as proud as Lucifer.
It's Lucifer.
He said his father was worth $20,000 and he was not worth not more than $5,000. He sent for Bishop Bass to be married before Dublessed and insisted to be married.
He insisted to be married. Huh.
You wanna pick up here?
Sure. Insisted to be married. He says Dexter may cry them down in the lore Rogan after Rogan.
Joe!
Monkey? Ooh. Joe Rogan monkey clip. Oh.
Famous Joe Rogan monkey clip.
I love Joe Rogan. He's so red.
He's never told a lie before.
That's true. He only tells the truth.
That's
what he told me.
We should buy all of his vitamin supplements and live an alpha male life.
I need to buy super male vitality from infowars.com because Alex Jones told me it would make me more red. I need to be red.
I need to be red too. We all need to be red.
But yes, in the lore, Rogan, after some time, they got published. Then he insisted not to have any witness. Went and hid Finley, my ghost, my wife. That was the ghost 13 years. Last March, they were married. I was married to the ghost. 35 last May. I have been in hell all the time. More so since Abraham Bishop got into my house. He hurt me and family. 1 ton of silver, it was the cost of my parting.
1 ton of silver.
My parting with Miss Dexter. He paid 1 ton of silver and his wife said, "See ya later, sucker."
No.
Now I am free. Now for a wife that has a soul, the ghost was a gizzard. And a coast all around her, a bee striking my dafter on her side, as she swears to great lawyer Dexter, and to many others I be. Leave it.
No way this guy. Oh my God. So Abraham Bishop breaks up with his daughter and then takes the money from the dowry? Is that what I'm getting?
Well, he got into his house and he hurt him.
Oh my lord.
So this goes pretty deep. I think Abraham Bishop, he's guilty of some stuff,
For real.
and he got 1 ton of silver from his
One-
parting with his wife, Miss Dexter.
1 ton of silver. One. Son, that's a
1 ton
lot of money.
silver.
That's a lot of money.
Where did he keep it? Where was all that silver? In his breeches?
I think this guy is a money britches store.
He's got some heavy pants.
Heavy. All
Oh,
right.
yeah. Surprised Mrs. Dexter left him. But
Yeah.
he swears to, what is it? To many others I believe it that knows the truth. The blue he gave her on the side. She had to put plasters on her side. Ooh.
Ooh.
His daughter is not having a fun time.
Ooh.
Near 3 years when liquor is in the wit is scattered.
Ooh.
A bee is the beast or creator 2-legged connect bull?
Connect bull short neck bull
Connect bull short neck bull head.
head thick hair big shoulders black curly.
What did he mean by this?
I don't think we'll be able to figure this out.
This is a bit of a conundrum. Creator 2-legged bull connect bull short neck bull head thick hair big shoulders black curly hair. He wants to be a god.
He wants to be a god. He's just like me.
I mean, can you blame him?
Everybody wants to be a god.
True.
Anyway.
But what I sought said, creator down, that short acquaintance. I can prove it myself by men of the second magnitude. My guessing of the creator, it turned out according to my guessing, and when I see my father, the good man, Father Thomas Jefferson.
Thomas Jefferson.
Oh my God, Thomas Jefferson. I need your autograph, Thomas Jefferson.
Wait. What? This Thomas Jefferson. That rang a bell in my head for some reason. I figured out why, and it's so stupid. Why Jefferson rang a bell in my head. I thought Gendo Ikari from
Evangelion brain rot.
Evangelion brain rot. I think as I get older, I relate more and more to the ending scenes of Evangelion, because that's just what life feels like sometimes.
Gendo Maxers stay winning.
Well, if you were wondering where those punctuation marks are, I think you were wondering where those punctuation marks are.
I was.
Let's take a quick scroll to the bottom. My favorite quote in the appendix of A Pickle for the Knowing Ones. There's an entire page of punctuation marks. It starts off several lines of commas, several lines of semicolons, several lines of colons, question marks, exclamation points, think more commas.
He had to get out of his
Quotation
system.
marks, a bunch. We see more dashes, but we know he already can use dashes. Transcriber's note. The block of punctuation on a page by itself is inexplicably left unexplained in this edition. Dexter wrote before it in the second edition. This is the first edition that we read. So if you read the second edition and you were like, I don't remember any of those quotes. I don't remember the bishop. I don't remember him.
Bishop Abraham?
Bishop Abraham. I don't remember him. It might have been you read the second and we just read the first, but in the second edition he says, "For der Mr. Printer, the knowing ones complain of my book, The first edition had no stops. I put in enough here, and they may pepper and salt them as they please. Profound.
I wonder if Timothy Dexter's IQ was below freezing or not.
I actually think he was like boiling IQ at this point.
Boiling. You know?
He's on that Einstein level. And I think we've demonstrated it here. There's a way with words.
That's
Bishop
true.
Abraham.
And he's having a little fun at the end by saying they can pepper and salt his paper with all that punctuation.
Yeah.
Up yours, Foder, Mr. Printer.
For the Mr. Printer. Anyway, Nick, it's great having you on this podcast.
Thanks, I appreciate it. It's a lot of fun.
We talked a while, and I don't think I have anything left to say.
Sounds good.